Alright guys, so I know it's pretty late in the year to be talking about switching to 2021 gear, at least for tournament season, maybe not so much for hunting season. But I ordered this stuff back in December and there was a huge shipping mix-up. So I'm just now getting my stuff. I think I got it like last week. So I still wanted to bust everything out of the box and kind of show you guys like what I'm switching to, explain some of the features that drew me to the things that I'm gonna be switching to. So we'll go ahead and start breaking everything out of this box and we'll talk about some of the features of the items that are inside. All right, so first thing we got is a hat, some precision archery reticles, a small and large Excel scope cover. Okay, so we got the Truball Fulcrum Flex in the Quicksilver finish. I actually already have one of these releases, but I needed to get an extra one because right now my backup release is a HBC, which is a good release, but it's not the same as a Fulcrum Flex, and that's my primary release. So in a competition, if this release breaks, then I have to switch to a completely different style of release, and I don't think that would be very optimal. So I went ahead and got an extra one of these. I'll actually do a video on how to set up a spare release, so like your backup release, and I'll link that to this video so that you guys can see how I set up a backup release to be identical to your primary release. Alright, so we got an Excel sunshade or Excel sight accessory, some sight tapes. I went ahead and got every sight tape that they had because I have no idea what end of the spectrum I'm going to be on for sight tapes. Up pin for the Excel sight. Alright, so the next thing we have is the Truball Accuvu 25 scope housing. This is probably going to be my best bet for target archery because it's smaller. So basically why that matters is the smaller the scope housing for target archery lets you focus on a smaller area, since you're looking at like a target face where it's blue, red, yellow, or whatever target face you're looking at. You don't have to like pick out pieces of like a foam animal or light spots that are hitting an animal. So you can get by with a smaller scope housing and allows you to focus on a smaller area, which in turn should give you better accuracy. So I've actually been shooting the Shrewd Nomad 31, I think is what it was, and it's the three-step down ring system, and then I have a washer set inside of that, and I have a white ring painted in the washer to bring that size down to a 24 millimeter right now, and it's kind of rigged up, but it's worked for me. I've shot it for like a year and a half, 2 years now, like that. I just think that I can get a lot more accuracy probably out of getting something that's actually made to do what I'm trying to do. Alright, so it looks like an extra dovetail mounting bracket. Alright, so the next release we have the Truball Ibis Flex in the Quicksilver finish. Basically I was just trying to get something that's the exact same as my primary release, which is the Fulcrum Flex. It's the same exact feel, it's just a thumb button release. And I know a lot of guys really like the thumb button in super windy conditions. I figured I would try it out just to see if I like it any better or not. Probably won't, but I will at least have it with me if the wind conditions are so severe that I literally can't get a shot off. I'll have this to try to just figure out punching in 2.5 seconds. So. Sight tape cover. Sight light. So it looks like we have a lens for the AV25 scope. If you get the combo kit, this comes with it. This is a 6-power lens. I won't be shooting the 6-power lens. Most likely I'll be shooting the 8-power lens. I got a IR Perfectium lens from Feather Vision, and I like those lenses better anyways, so I'll be running that inside my AV25 unless for whatever reason it doesn't look the same for my current setup, and then I'll try this lens out and see what happens. But most likely I'll be shooting the 8-power lens. Looks like an extra sear. Another sight light. Alright guys, so the next big thing we have is the Excel Landslide Carbon Pro sight. It's a hunting sight, but you could really use it for target archery as well, especially if you get the Carbon Pro dovetail system on the back side and not just the mounting side. I mean, you could still use that for target, I guess, but it's probably a little bit better of a setup for target if you get the dovetail sight bar. But this sight's super good from what I've heard and read on the internet. So let's go ahead and open this sight up so I can talk a little bit more about the way it works. So first off, it comes with sight tapes, some extra accessories, second axis mount or bracket, and then some screws to mount it with, an Allen wrench, and then obviously the bolts to mount the mounting bracket to your bow with. It comes with all of the sight tapes that you can need in the laminated version of the sight tapes. Directions, which I would suggest to actually read those because this sight is pretty complicated, at least to me. Maybe not to some of the people that are watching this or know about the sight, but it seems pretty complicated to me. So what you have is the same exact thing as the Accuvu XP. It has the same clicking dovetail mounting bracket so that you know that your sight bar is always in the actual divot on the sight bar. So you can adjust this sight all the way up and down on the actual sight bar so that you can have it in whatever location that you want. You can order this sight as a 1-pin configuration for tournaments or hunting if that's what you want to do, and it also comes in a 3 or 5-pin configuration. Mine's a 5-pin configuration. I'm gonna kind of explain this very briefly. The indicators for your sight tape, there's 2 of those. So say you wanna have a 20, 25, 30, 35, or 40 yard pin. You'll set your pins in that location. On your top indicator, your sight tape indicator, you're gonna mark that location as your 20. On your bottom, you're gonna mark that location as your 40. And then what you can do is you can get the metal sight tapes, find which sight tape matches up with the sight tape that you just marked, and then you can use your bottom pin. Since this one's marked at 40, when you move this sight down, the bottom indicator, if you put that on 70, your bottom pin's at 70 yards. So you can shoot something at 70 yards with the bottom pin. So, and then whenever you get done, if you want to have it right back to 20 through 40, you can just move your pins, your indicators back to 20 and 40, and your pins are back in the exact same location that they were before you moved the sight. So I really like that about this sight. It's super cool. It moves really fast. Like if you're out hunting and next thing you know something pops up 100 yards away and you want to take a 100-yard shot, if you're good with that, then you can run this thing down in like literally like that fast. And obviously it's a bomb-proof sight. Truball Excel makes super good gear. The engineers at Truball are probably some of the brightest in the industry. They always come out with really good equipment, and so you really can't go wrong with anything from Truball or Excel. And if you guys are interested in knowing more about this sight, go over to Brandon Reyes' video. So yeah, so it's the Excel Landslide sight in explanation. It's just a picture of a bow with the sight and an arrow on it. But yeah, enough of that one. Alright, and then also I got a extra 5-pin configuration just in case one of my pins breaks. Alright guys, so the last thing in this box besides a couple stickers and the receipt is the new Excel Accuvu XP UHM carbon bar sight. So basically the things that I really like about this sight that drew me to this sight and made me make the decision to switch ultimately was obviously I really like that this sight bar mounting bracket clicks into the actual divot of the sight bar so that I know that the sight is in the exact location that I want it to be in. The ultra high modulus carbon is super nice because it's really stiff, but it's also really light, so I can get by with having a lighter system up top, and then I can put the weight of my bow where I want it to be, which is on the stabilizers. So I really like that about this sight bar. With this sight, looks like they give you a patch, obviously the directions, some metal sight tapes, which is good if you're into 3D, all of the hardware that you need to mount the sight together or on the bow, and some Allen wrenches. Alright, so going over a couple of things that I like about the main part of this sight. Some of the small things that I really like is obviously you can lock the turn knobs from spinning. So if you get your sight where you want it, you can lock it to where it doesn't move. And then the same thing with your windage marks. You can lock and unlock that. Also, there's a little push button on top of this sight which allows you to quickly adjust your sight if you need to. But the main thing that made me switch from the sight that I'm currently using to this sight is the zero backlash feature. So basically what zero backlash means is that when you turn the sight in one direction, so say you're shooting low, so you adjust your sight down 7 clicks. and now all of a sudden you're shooting just high, you want to take it down maybe 2 clicks. Well, with backlash, what happens is you took it 7 clicks, but you have to take it back a couple dead clicks. So basically what will happen is you'll take it 7, and then you'll take it 2 clicks to get it back to 5, but the sight doesn't actually move. So then you have to take it to 2 more clicks, which will put you at the equivalent of what 5 clicks would be, because there's a dead space in that sight. So it only happens when you're going from one direction to the other. It's cost me probably a couple points in the past. I just feel like having something that I can have confidence in to not move, or to move exactly where I want it to move to the first time, is super critical. And so I'm just excited to build that confidence with this sight and move forward with the Excel products. Alright guys, well that's pretty much it. I'm going to record the other video of the setup and installation, and I'm going to link that to the top of this video so that I can keep this video somewhat short. If you don't mind, please do like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. Thank you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next video.